Good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. The situation in Thailand seems to be under control in terms of COVID-19 pandemic to a certain degree, in which governor of each provinces will have to do homework, outline what the business can be resumed again in the near future. So it will be like partially open up of the economic activities in Thailand. In the Thai PBS World Tonight, คุณเทพชัยยอง and me as Dr. ธนรักษ์ ผลิตพัฒน์ Deputy Director General of Department of Disease Control. From now on, what Thailand should be prepared in terms of easing the lockdown.
Dr. Thanarak, we have been hearing good news over the past many days as far as the number of new cases are concerned. Do you think the good news will continue?
I hope so. I think we have done quite a very good job on trying to contain the virus, and so far all of the effort of every sectors, especially all the Thai that help Ministry of Public Health and help the government, has paid off in the recent weeks. So I am happy for everybody.
So the least we can do is to keep the pace, right? Maintain the level of awareness that we have been doing.
I think that is very important, and I can repeat myself once again that it is very difficult to eradicate or to eliminate at least the disease from the country at the moment. But all we can do is to keep the disease to spread at a very low level that is possible. With all the effort from everybody, from every sectors.
In the next few days, some business activities will probably resume in Bangkok, but partially open, not fully back to normal. Anything that concerns you?
Yes, as I said earlier, what we open up is something that has been closed, but the rest that we have done, we should try at least to keep the level of effort at least at the same level as much as we can do. I can understand that some of the companies, some of the places that has helped us by working at home in the last few weeks has to reopen again and have to ask their staff to come back to the office. But I hope that they can still keep someone work from home, although the smaller numbers, but it would be very important to try to keep that to be continued.
I'm sure, Dr. Thanarak, you must have been also following the situations in some other countries, like in the US, in Singapore, Indonesia, for example. They're also opening up. I mean, in the US, for example, how do you see the way they opening up their social and economic activities there in the US? It looks like a lot of people have gone out and having good time on beaches, drinking like that. So this is, I'm sure that these are the pictures that you don't want to see in Thailand, right?
That's right. That's right. That is something that will scare me, at least. I believe that what the US has that we doesn't have is that they have very strong public health system, and I believe that they probably very confident in their system. I have seen some of their report that they will heavily, after they open up, they will once again back to their routine that is relying on the job of their public health officers to do their part in terms of trying to contain the disease as much as they can. But I believe that what they are trying to also do is trying to, although they reopen, but they're still very careful on reopening those shops and those venues, those establishments, and they, as far as I knew, they are doing it in phases. So hopefully that they can start open things up and can still control the spread of the disease. That is something we would like to see also. We doesn't have that many experience from other countries in open things up. So those will be a very good opportunities for us to learn from one another, so that we can also use those lessons to help our situation as well.
And for Singapore, what's the possibility that we will repeat the same pattern like what happened in Singapore, that they found so many infected cases in foreign dormitory?
That is a very good question. Last week, I have a chance to speak with the private sectors, with so many people, and this is something that we have to learn from Singapore as well. We also have the same kind of situation here in Thailand, of course. Usually, the migrant workers work in the factories around Bangkok, and usually their living condition is very crowded. They stay in dormitories, and usually they stay together so that they save their monies. Those are the things that we knew, and some of the migrant workers also work in certain site. For example, for the one who work in the building, in the construction companies, they also stay at the construction site, and some of them is we can say that some of them is downtown Bangkok. So those are the places that we have to be careful, and the companies, private companies that I have a chance to discuss with, they also learn that. So in the past, they may work very hard trying to check the health of their workers at the factories, but now they knew that they also have to work with their workers, with their at their living at their dormitory as well.
Dr. Thanarak, there were two fatalities reported today, right? One of them was a 52 years old businessman in Bangkok who reportedly contracted the disease from an infected person in a seminar. So I think this is quite unusual. So what does this tell us?
I heard about this case because he is one of my friends. So I heard about him for quite some time. So he contracted disease long ago, and he has been in critical condition for quite some time. There are still a conference, face-to-face conference, but those kind of conference is now a very small conference. But there is some companies that still have a meeting face-to-face, and in some cases may not be protected. I mean, everybody did not wear masks. But the cases that we are talking about, he contracted disease long before the day that he passed away. So at that time, the gathering, the number of people still meet each other. So that is what happened. That is one thing. And the second thing I think is more important is that he's only 52 years old, I think, around 50, with no underlying condition. We all know that this disease is very, usually we can say it's mild disease. 80% of people doesn't need any antivirals. The disease will you are going to get better and will be cured from disease within 14 days without any treatment. But there are still some cases, 15% that can get a severe disease, and the problem is that we don't know who is going to get severe disease. So that is why we have to be very careful about this. It can be anybody. It can be someone we knew. So this is very important to really understand why we cannot let our guard down. As I mentioned, one thing is that when we prevent ourselves from getting the disease, it means that we also protect everybody in our household as well. So if we get infected, it doesn't mean that we are putting ourselves at risk. We also put our family member at risk as well. So those are very important, I think, messages from what we have learned from those cases today.
Do not let our guard down is what we've been told to live out life during COVID-19 crisis, to live life in new normal way, to keep social distancing, wash our hands and wear face mask. And that's all from Thai PBS World Tonight.